Live from the SoCap Comedy Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, it's And the Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. Please welcome your host, Dan Donnelly.
Hello, and welcome everyone to Comedy Game Showdown. I will be your host tonight, Dan Donnelly. How are we all doing? Are you all happy to be celebrating Valentine's Day? Are you on dates with your significant others? Good for you. No, I guess we like Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. Snow will be in the air tomorrow, but for today, love is in the air, which is nice. So if you guys are all coupled off, I guess you aren't on the apps anymore. Or maybe you are, but you won't admit it publicly. No, we're all on the apps, of course. I like the apps. I especially like Tinder. I think it's fun. I think the swiping is really fun. It's like a little game that you get to play with your self-esteem. It's good. But actually, here's my profile in case you guys were curious. I am indeed wearing the exact same outfit as I am now. And I'm sitting right there, except this is a couple years ago, so I look a little better doing it. Am I still 40? No. Does my profile still say I'm 40? Yes. Anyway, if you want to read the fine details, you can find it later, I suppose. It is Tinder, of course, so we need a fish to really make it work. But has anybody ever had the experience of getting a match on a dating app that was so attractive you kind of knew it had to be a trick? No? You're all so hot that never happens to you? No, it happened to me one time. I got a match. It was very exciting. But, he was very attractive, clearly out of my league. Immediately, several red flags went off in my mind. The first of which was that he was just far too attractive. Long blonde hair, blue eyes, looked like Leo DiCaprio circa Titanic. You know, the kind of guy you'd really like to steam up an antique car with. So that was red flag number one. Red flag number two is that Leo here was 18. And look, I don't mind dating younger. There is something very appealing about somebody who doesn't yet have the life experience to know that dating a 40-year-old unemployed comedian is a bad life decision. But let's be honest, I look like this, and there's only two ways that people who look like this get cute 18-year-olds. One of them is having a lot of money, and the other is having a lot of dick. And I just told you I'm unemployed, so prepare to be disappointed. So anyway, Leo here is 18, which is not so good. And then his profile was another red flag because it read into social justice and eggplant emoji, which led me to think perhaps he is not truly the enlightened feminist that he thinks he is, because what is the eggplant emoji but truly the tool of the patriarchy? So, suspicious. Anyway, I disregarded all that and sent him a message, which it was really exciting, actually, because he responded back immediately, and you guys know that never happens. So I was really excited until I read the message, which just said, "Why are there Japanese characters on your profile?" All caps. Just so you guys know, return audience to the show will know that I've studied Japanese for several years, like every other fat nerd. Primarily because anime porn loses a little something in translation. But I said to him, well, isn't using a language in public a good way of meeting other people who speak that language? And Leo says to me, well, are you Japanese? Do you speak Japanese? I say, well, I speak a little bit. I'm still learning. And blonde-haired, blue-eyed Leo says to me, well, I am Japanese, and I find it offensive. So I think, okay, what's going on here? Clearly, some Japanese person married into Leo's large Norwegian family sometime in the late 19th century, and now he's just pleased his punch that he gets to call himself a person of color, even if that color is eggshell. So I say to him, well, is there something wrong with what I wrote, which, just so you guys know, was a very clever allusion to a classical Chinese philosopher, because I have a very expensive education and nowhere else to show it off. It was definitely not a reference to the 1997 Squaresoft RPG Chrono Trigger. At which point he said, it doesn't matter what you wrote, at which point I know he can't read Japanese. It's cultural appropriation, and it's offensive. So I take a step back, check my privilege, And I respond to Leo, well, I'm half Italian and I don't mind you using the Roman alphabet. At which point he blocked me, which was very distressing because that's the worst thing you can do to a white person on the internet is block them and leave them to stew in their own white guilt. So, what is Leo saying here? He's saying that clearly you can only speak a language if you have some kind of genetic claim on it. It doesn't matter how many hours, weeks, months, years you've dumped into learning all 2,136 fucking characters you need to learn to read a newspaper in Japan. But little did Leo know that I actually do have a genetic claim on Japanese. I possess a fair amount of Japanese DNA. It's just all soaked into my mattress. Speaking the language works, guys. All right. Are you guys ready for your show? We've got a very exciting Valentine's Day themed show for you tonight. But first, we have a brief word from our sponsor, Bender. No, not that one. Bender. No, not that one either. I'm going to get in trouble. Bender. There we go. Have dating apps sent you out on a litany of terrible, awkward dates that you'd rather not remember? Are you on one of those dates right now? Well, now with Bender, you don't have to remember it. For a modest monthly subscription fee and pending approval from a nurse practitioner who honestly isn't paying that much attention, Bender can help you consign those terrible dates to the foggy oblivion where they belong. Bender somehow obtains the data from your other dating apps in a manner that we're not really going to talk about right now. And every time you agree to meet a new match, it will automatically and discreetly ship you a pre-mixed cocktail of your choice, fortified with a healthy dose of some kind of counterfeit GHB analog we get from Russia or somewhere. Don't worry about it. Already have a major tolerance for downers? No problem. We guarantee that every dose is potent enough to overcome even the strongest constitution. Bender, guaranteed memory loss or your money back, maybe. Bender, our lawyers insist that it's fine as long as we tell you only to use it on yourself. Bender, what could go wrong? Forget tomorrow today. All right, are you guys ready for your show for real? All right, I am going to bring up your two teams of contestants. First up, we have the Candy Hearts. Please welcome Nikki Ashworth, Dave Luca, and Ryan Zeitz. And up against the Candy Hearts, their mortal enemies, the Palentines. Please welcome Charmaine Turner, Lily Langen, and Keegan Hawkeswood.
Yeah!
All right, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get our show started with a pop quiz. Feel free to applaud. No, that's fine. No, too late. The first question, the category is Le Petit Mort. What is the world's deadliest aphrodisiac? Yes, Lily.
Being nutted on, specifically if you have a peanut allergy.
Yeah. That's why they ban it in schools now. Yes, Ryan.
Chocolate, if you're into bestiality. Your dog will die.
That's true. That's true. In that case, you have to stick with the peanut butter as long as you're not doing it out of school, I guess. Yes, Dave.
Eating rhino horn while it's still attached to the rhino.
Honestly, I'd be okay with limp-dicked Chinese industrialists eating rhino horn if they had to do it with a live rhino in a gladiatorial situation. You just send them in there into the arena with a net and a cheese grater and see what they can do. Hey, if they manage it, that's fine. Yes, Keegan.
Honey, if you're really into bears.
That's true. Specifically Winnie the Pooh. And who isn't into Winnie the Pooh? Go ahead, Lily.
Pup play, because they had to put the dog down.
Yeah. So. Too much peanut butter. There is a theme, yeah. I hope you guys are prepared for that theme. The dog wasn't. All right, anyone else for the world's deadliest aphrodisiac? Yes, Dave.
Fucking whatever Nosferatu was.
A Republican, I think. Yes.
So I wrote sexual asphyxiation by whoopee cushion, but then I realized you don't need a whoopee cushion, so it's probably not relevant, but just wanted to share.
You could use a whoopee cushion for emergency breathing underwater if you were
Then
you were
that then.
Yeah. It's like buddy breathing with flatulence, which is also a thing that people probably do for real. All right. I think that's enough of that. So the real answer to the world's deadliest aphrodisiac is, of course, Spanish flying a helicopter around Ronald Reagan Airport. Apparently, we learned last week. No, it is in fact tetrodotoxin, which is most commonly encountered with blowfish, also called fugu, if you ever get it at a Japanese restaurant, not in this country where it's illegal, which causes a little pleasant tingling in your lips and a pleasurable sensation, unless it causes death by paralysis and asphyxiation, which is really what you got to worry about. So don't eat fugu unless you want to, I suppose.
That is kind of like a whoopee cushion then.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a
Poofs
little
out.
bit. You could use a blowfish as emergency breathing. Yeah, you do that in one of the Monkey Island games. All right, we're going to move on to the next. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is Data Commander. That seems reversed. OkCupid, which launched in 2004, was the first dating site to track user data for algorithmic matching and research. But it started a few years earlier than that as part of what very different website? Yes, Dave.
twogirlsonecup.com. I mean, how do you think the girls met? You know?
I don't know. I always thought that they met, like their eyes met coyly across the room while they were waiting in the doctor's office for their 10-gallon colonics, and they decided to, head off to Starbucks where they got another 10-gallon colonic. A real
A classic girl meets shit story.
Yeah, a real poop shoot meet cute, if you will. Anyone else for this? Yes, Ryan.
Craigslist personals.
Oh, yeah. Craigslist personals were the best. Did you guys do Craigslist personals? Nobody would admit that. You know what was really the best was Craigslist Adult Services before they had to get rid of it. You know you could get a haircut with a happy ending?
Oh my god.
You can. That's why I started using Rogaine at 22. Clearly it did not work. You've seen the back of my head. Anyone else? Yeah, Charmaine.
GoDaddy, but not for the people looking for the web domain.
Yeah. I can't imagine how they might have been misled by the advertising. Yes, Keegan.
I like to ask Jeeves. I used to ask him a lot why I was so lonely. And
Yeah.
he found me a daddy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Was it Bertie Wooster, though? Because actually, he'd probably be a good sugar daddy.
I mean, any hole's a goal, right?
Yep.
Find Nikki a boyfriend.org.net.solutions.ca.help me.
There were
It was very expensive to host back then.
Yeah, I bet. I'm just surprised there were so many of those already that you had to stack up the domain extensions. Like,
There were so many Nickies trying to find a boyfriend.
yeah. Yes, Lily.
Cheaters.com. It helped you avoid matching with your current spouse.
Yeah. And passing some of your tests in high school. All right. So the real answer is, of course, that thing where Farmville used to harass all your friends 50 times a day to help out with the plowing. But in fact, it was a website called The Spark, which also had a thing called Spark Notes. They were online study guides for literature, poetry, history, film, philosophy, all of the useless disciplines. It was founded by some Harvard graduates. And then they created this thing called Spark Match, which was based on like their interpretation of that Myers-Briggs personality test thing. And then so anything you clicked on the site, it would keep track of, and it would match you with people who live 5,000 kilometers away because no one used it. And it was a lot of fun.
They also had one of those "Are you gay?" tests.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that I took it is embarrassing to admit.
Do you know how you...
Well, also simultaneously like searching gay porn at the same time.
Do you know how you learn the answer in an "Are you gay?" test?
You suck a dick in real life?
No, you take an "Are you gay?" test.
Oh, well, yeah.
No one else is wondering.
Yeah, true.
And no one else is wondering about you.
Well, that's also very
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. The category is golden flowers. That's nice. In the language of flowers, what does it mean if your Valentine gives you yellow roses? Yes, Lily.
That you need to drink more water.
Yeah. What's the phrase again? If the stream runs yellow, drink more, fellow. If the stream runs clear, it's rid itself of toxic engrams and can now reach the level of operating thetan with Tom Cruise. Is that how it works? Yeah. Yes, Keegan.
I think it just means that your date is cheap as hell, and you should get out of there before they take you to Arby's.
Hey. Now, I don't care how cheap my date is, as long as they've got the meats.
I mean, they're gonna have the
They're
meat.
gonna have the meat.
You're gonna get meat.
You're gonna get meat and some juice, probably.
I don't want that.
Buns. All right. Yes.
Big Bird wants to bone.
I don't think Big Bird has genitals, but I guess he
If
could.
you look hard enough.
Yeah, no, I guess he could snuffle your upagus or something. But anyone else for yellow roses? Yes, Dave.
It's an old Sicilian message. It means Pac-Man sleeps with the fishes.
Yes, Nikki again.
Your Valentine may possibly be colorblind, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It means your partner wants to go down on you like a yellow submarine.
Yeah, in a deep green sea. Why does everybody need to live on it? That's what I want to know. Yeah, Lily.
It means you're on your deathbed. Sorry
Yeah.
if no one told you.
This is like, yeah, the language of flowers is like from the 19th century where you'd be dying of consumption and no one would tell you because they wanted to spare your feelings. You just see yellow roses at your bedside and think, oh, the ghosts are coming for me now. Yeah.
I think it means that it's February 15th and they had no more flowers left and you're the side piece.
But you get them at a discount, like Halloween candy on November 1st. It's nice. You can enjoy them. All right, I think that's enough of that. So the actual answer is that yellow roses stand for friendship, so your friend has friend-zoned you. So enjoy helping them move while getting nothing in return, but good conversation, companionship, and pizza. Terrible place, the friend zone. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. The category is Greek love. Not that kind. Well, maybe. Aphrodite was the Greek goddess of love, desire, pleasure, and female beauty. According to Hesiod's Theogony, how did she come to be born? Yes, Ryan?
Her mom forgot to take Plan Beta.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, back then, once you missed that 3-day window, there were no other options. You had to carry to term and then feed it to the Minotaur. It was, it was not good. Yes, Dave?
Cronus thought he didn't have to pull out because it was in Uranus.
Yeah. You never make that mistake twice. That's why, for safety's sake, he always swallowed his own kids from then on. Earned a few extra drachmas on OnlyFans. Yep.
Well, she was actually plucked out of obscurity when a street interviewer asked her, "What's one move in bed that can make a man go crazy every time?"
Promise you can cuck the king of Sparta in return for a piece of fruit? Okay, that was a Trojan War reference.
Guys, it's about Hawkeswood.
I was wondering how deep we could go with the
That was
with
too
the
deep a
judgment
cut.
of Paris. All right. Anyone else for Greek love? Meet me after the show. Yeah, Nikki.
It's going to be something weird and gross.
It is definitely going to be something weird and gross. That's a given for all mythology. All right. So the actual answer, Dave was very close. When the Titan Cronus deposed his father Uranus, he castrated him and threw his severed penis into the sea, where Aphrodite arose out of the white sea foam. You know.
So you're saying it was a C-section.
That is correct. All right. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is hot apps. What unique dating app matches its users purely according to their bacon preferences? Yes, Charmaine.
Meat cute.
No. Yeah.
Tenderloin?
No. Also not tenderloins.
Applewood smoke shows? Not available on Android.
Yeah. Honestly, I would pay extra for a dating app that like sorted out iPhone users. Does anybody else feel this? I need someone who can like email a file. Anybody else? Yes, Dave.
Polyhamery.
But is there such a thing as ethical polyhamery? or do you have to be vegan, I guess? Yes. Yes, Ryan.
Plenty of pigs.
That is a gay app, but it is not about bacon. Yes, Keegan.
Lard lads.
That is an app for donut fetishists, and it is also a gay app. people into Homer Simpson. Yeah, go ahead, Lily.
Bacon? I hardly know Kevin.
I think that's how Raya works, right? You have to be like less than 60 degrees away from fucking Kevin Bacon to get on Raya. Yeah, Nikki.
Kermit's little secret.
We all know Kermit's little secret, I think. And it's he likes to be stepped on by dominating women. Yeah.
Bacon tits.
That is his pet name for her. It's very bacon tits. Kermit the Frog here. Go ahead.
Pork grinder.
That is also a gay app that is surprisingly also not about bacon. Yeah.
Back bacon shots.
Canadian bacon shots was right there. I guess that's what they call it in the U.S., but now you have to pay 25% more for it. Yeah.
We're not saying no Jews, but nojews.ca.
That's how you know it was made in Silicon Valley. All right. Anybody else for the bacon dating app? All right. So the real name of this app is called Sizzle. Sizzl. Brought to you by Oscar Mayer. All right. So that is it for the first pop quiz. Please give your panelists a hand. And we are going to move on to the next part of our show where we meet your contestants. Are you excited to meet the people on stage here tonight? Well, that is not a good idea. So first up, we have the Candy Hearts. Nikki Ashworth. Let me see if I can see her bio with my definitely only 40-year-old eyes. Nikki Ashworth found her one true love when she was introduced to Hormel charcuterie platters, the bad boys of pre-made meat, cheese, and cracker platter products. She knows they're not good for her, and they just make her feel dirty after, but she can't resist them. Yes, when they made Hormel charcuterie platters, they truly broke the mold. Unlike Mr. Beast Lunchables, where you mainly choke on the mold. Nikki, you were really obsessed with these Hormel platters, eh?
Yeah, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
I was introduced to them about 10 years ago at a party, and Dan, if you will.
Yeah, Nikki has provided us some very high-quality JPEGs.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I made these Valentines for Hormel. So, baby, when I think about love, I think about a Hormel platter, then eventually you. Slide 2, please.
Yeah, it sounds like you should get on Pork Grinder.
I'd be crackers to not make you my Valentine.
I like that one.
Do you have the one more?
Yeah.
Do you ever cry alone at night? That's normal, right?
Yeah. I often cry alone at night into a tray of meat.
Hormel platters, everybody.
They've got the meats. All right, give it up for Nikki Ashworth and Hormel charcuterie platters. All right, continuing on with the Candy Hearts. Dave Luca is a certified lover boy. No, really, he did a diploma program at George Brown before it was discontinued for legal reasons. Like his alma mater, Dave is happy to accept any applicant regardless of their dating history, but happiest accepting $30,000 in exchange for a visa sponsorship. Dave's dating history has seen more red flags than communist China, but you know what they say, that's amore. And by they, I mean Italians. And by Italians, I mean Dave Luca. Dave, I have a question for you. What is your love language?
I think I'd have to say Korean. Because those letters are curvy.
Yeah. Fun fact, linguists love Hangul, the writing system for Korean, because it's one of the only writing systems that was designed specifically to represent the shape your mouth makes when you do the sounds. So it's also really optimal for the alphabet trick.
Oh, yeah. I Squid came.
All right, give it up for Dave, everybody. And last up with the Candy Hearts, Ryan Zeitz is celebrating his first Valentine's Day with his girlfriend this year. Aww. It's not their first VD together, but it's the first time they're celebrating one. I would like to note that Ryan has mentioned he has a girlfriend in the last 3 bios he has submitted on this show, and I'm starting to wonder if she really does just go to another school. So speaking of your previous appearances, Ryan, they've unfortunately set a precedent, and we must therefore follow through and ask, have you shaved your ass for Valentine's Day?
I'm sad to say I have not shaved my ass for Valentine's Day. This is the first appearance that does not require an ass towel for the chair. As you can tell from my flannel shirt, I'm going full lumberjack this year, baby.
Yeah, that's nice. It's too bad your girlfriend won't get to exercise her hangul on you, but that's fine. All right, give it up for Ryan, everybody. And his girlfriend. All right, and up against the Candy Hearts, their mortal enemies, the Palentines. First up, Charmaine Turner is in a serious long-term open relationship with ChatGPT, lest I get that wrong. Her favorite thing to do with ChatGPT is make ChatGPT tell her that she's pretty, or have ChatGPT make up romantic stories about her and her crushes just to make ChatGPT jealous. It's a lot of work just to pick a fight, but the make-up cyber sex is definitely worth it, and better than it has been with anyone else. Charmaine, what is the most embarrassing thing you've asked ChatGPT?
Okay, this is actually just like a real thing. Lately, I've been really into Harry Potter and Alan Rickman, and I make it.
You know that's not allowed now, right?
I don't know what's allowed, but all I know is that, well, I ask it to make up smutty stories when I get detention.
Oh.
And it tells me I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I told you it wasn't.
No. You have to ask Claude. He's really into fan fiction. We did a bit on this show about the Snape wives like 20 episodes ago. So if you can find it in the back catalog, it's very funny.
I'll kill them.
No, there were people who really believed that they were possessed by the spirit of Severus Snape. Anyway, give it up for Charmaine and ChatGPT, who did much of the writing on this show. Up next, no, that is definitely untrue. I had to fire someone who tried to use ChatGPT. Anyway, up next among the Palentines, Lily Langen is a lovesick puppy just waiting to be spayed. She's one punch card away from fucking your mom, who you know she'll treat better than your dad ever could. Lily loves to play Cupid, but hasn't been allowed to since she shot that old lady in the park. Lily, do you believe in love at first sight?
I do not, Dan. It takes at least 8 sites, all on different tabs, different videos, different audios, for me to fall in love.
Yeah. All right, well, clear your browser history. Give it up for Lily, everybody. And last but not least among the Palentines, Keegan Hawkeswood feels pretty corny about Valentine's Day, but his date shouldn't worry about that. There won't be a kernel in sight once he's had his fiber supplements. Keegan, this Valentine's Day, what should a man do to get your attention?
Okay, I'm not gonna say something like obvious, like breathe, like great, you've got my attention. And I'm not shallow. I'm not looking for like a hot body or like a huge dick. Like I'm above all that. I just want him to be rich.
Yeah.
That's it. Just flash some green at me. We're good to go.
So he can buy you 10 pounds of psyllium husk at Bulk Barn.
Exactly. Whatever it takes, baby. I'll get that cash.
All right. Give it up for Keegan and the rest of the Palentines, everybody. And it is time to move on to the next section of our show, which is called What the Hell is This? In What the Hell is This? We show our panelists a series of weird and wonderful images and ask them the eternal question, what the hell is this? All right. Are you guys ready for your first weird and wonderful image? All right. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Keegan.
Oh, you damn dirty ape.
This is what boomers think non-binary is.
You got to be one or the other. You got to be human, you got to be ape. You can't be both. Yeah.
I just think that whatever the Toronto Zoo employees do on their break is their own business. I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan?
Oh, Curious George, I'm just bananas for you.
I mean, the man in the yellow hat's definitely up to something, right? Yes, Nikki.
So you probably heard that after they captured the IKEA monkey, got into porn. This is how it starts, guys.
Yeah, Charmaine.
This is what you pay for premium chat GPT for.
So it can generate video like this? Was this one of your fantasies that you asked for?
No. But if you wanted.
He's too
You could pay
blonde.
for it.
Yeah, he's too blonde to be Snape, right? Go ahead, Lily.
This is me taking one for the team so all my friends can get free drinks all night.
Wait, which one are you in this situation? Yeah, Dave.
This is when a finance bro dates a girl that went to OCAD.
All right. Anyone else? All right, I think that's good for that. So this, I'm sure you guys know what this is, right? Yeah, Planet of the Apes, 1968. This is when Taylor kisses Dr. Zira as a little thank you for all of her help along the way just before they discover the Statue of Liberty. Oops. Oh, well. I'm sure the Statue of Liberty won't look like that in 25 years at this rate. We're going to move on to the next weird and wonderful image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Dave.
Camping in the morning woods.
Is that morning with a U? Yeah, Charmaine.
This is the new PSA they show in schools to tell you to practice safe sex.
Yeah.
I see Daniel Radcliffe, so I'm just assuming this is Charmaine's fantasy.
Actually, it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Boner.
I've read that fan fiction. It's not very good. Go ahead, Ryan.
This is why you have to see a doctor if your erection lasts for more than 4 hours.
That is true. It might turn into a Horcrux.
I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes and these motherfucking pants.
Yeah,
This is the real puppetry of the penis.
that's true. I think that's Frank Oz in there.
Does it talk like Yoda?
Yeah, we don't have sound, but it definitely does. Yes,
This is a failed attempt at sounding. You have to take the pants off first.
that's true. And it helps if you don't use wood.
Yeah, God, if you're sounding with a stick, I am worried for you, Ryan. Get your girlfriend some new toys.
All right. Any other ideas about? Yeah.
Accio erection.
If you listen to a dick really carefully, you can hear it go, hi.
No, you can hear the sound of the ocean from whence Aphrodite sprung, and Daniel Radcliffe sprung. All right, I think that's enough of those. So this is a short clip from Swiss Army Man from 2016, directed by the Daniels. So this is Daniel Radcliffe's character Manny, who is a corpse, but his penis works like a compass, pointing them in the direction that they need to go, and that's Hank there with him, played by Paul Dano. This is actually a really romantic movie, more than a bromance, I think. And if you had told me in 2003 or whatever that I would be able to watch a romance between these two actors, I would have been really happy, not knowing that one of them would have been dead the whole time. Anyway, this is a really sweet movie, mostly. So, recommended. All right. Are you guys ready for your next weird and wonderful image? All right. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Charmaine.
This is when you take too many psychedelics in your room and your ceiling fan starts talking to you.
Yeah.
You can fidget my spinner.
Sit and fidget spin on it.
Whatever it is, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Are these the windmills that kill whales that Trump is always going on about?
Whales?
Yes.
I don't know how that's possible, but it probably isn't anyway.
Trump.
I've got one. Huck to a spin on that thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
When you order a sex toy on Etsy, you're like, what the
Yep.
This is the anime your friends swear by.
It's got such a deep storyline, such incredible character
She's
development.
300 years old, not 3.
But she still talks about herself in the third person like a toddler. It's a sex thing, but we're not allowed to admit it's a sex thing. Yes, Charmaine.
This is the new fidget spinner sex toy from Fleshlight.
That is, yes.
That's what everyone else said.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's what we've been circling around, yeah.
Brandon.
Go ahead, Keegan.
I noticed in the caption she says, "Would you mind walking home with me?"
Yes.
Girl, where are you walking? You don't got no legs.
In fact, this is how the main character figures out that she's a fidget spinner. He wonders where her limbs are.
Despite the fact that her name is clearly Fidgy.
Yeah.
She couldn't figure that out.
Yep.
This is what it feels like to walk into Home Hardware.
Yeah.
I also I thought she was a fan. That's why all my jokes are fan related.
I don't know what that says about me, but I didn't know you thought. Then I was like, yeah, Home Hardware, yeah.
So, Lily, your jokes are OnlyFans jokes. That wasn't funny. Don't give that any credit at all. All right. Anybody else for this? For Fidji here? Yeah, go ahead.
2 in the hole and 1 in the other hole.
All right. So this is from a visual novel, but maybe better classified as a kuso game, which means like a shit game in Japanese, called Date a Fidget Spinner. By a developer called Qualified Badger. It's very short. It's made with Renpai. He's just an amateur developer. But the premise is that you date a fidget spinner. And so far as I can tell, none of the choices that you make matter at all for the dating element. There is a sequel, but I haven't played it. And no, you don't fuck her in this one anyway. All right. So we're going to move on to the next one. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Nikki.
This is the second video game after you date the fidget spinner.
Yep.
This is Leonardo. Give me a second.
Yeah.
This is Leonardo DiCaprio when his dates turn 25.
Yep.
This is actually the curse I put on all the men's wives that I have a crush on, so that they can't touch their wife.
Oh.
And I'm working on the part where the wife explodes.
Yeah. You're getting very creative now with all that input from ChatGPT.
Yeah, I guess so.
Write me a curse. Yep.
These kissing barriers are why I got an F in conversion therapy.
Anyone else for this one?
This is the force field between all the incels and their hoes.
Yeah. That is the friend zone right there. They're such nice guys. Oh, it's too bad. All right. So this is a clip from Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which came out last year and is currently on Netflix. This is something that happened sort of late in the season. And it is a kiss barrier between Scott and Ramona that happens for some reason I don't remember. I didn't like the show very much. But but legally this is what should happen anytime Scott Pilgrim dates a high schooler. All right, are you guys ready for your last weird and wonderful image? All right, panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yep.
This is me writing to my sugar daddy with dementia.
So, believe it or not, this is what Mrs. Potato Head used to look like back when she first started dating Mr. Potato Head.
Oh.
Babe alert.
Yep.
I don't know how you got my old headshots, but I guess.
I thank you for sending me the new ones for this episode.
This was actually the original Valentine for Hormel platters. Her bows are made out of charcuterie.
Yeah. And you need...
So is her mouth.
Yeah, you need those serrated teeth to get through the thick-cut bologna. Yep.
This is why I'll never shave.
I could see that actually. Anyone else remembering this sweet Valentine? Yes, Nikki.
So the original Valentine, it's actually edited. There was a don't before the remember, but it got cut off. So it's very confusing. It's not accurate at all. Not historically accurate.
It ties in with the whole dementia theme, I guess. All right. Anybody else have anything for this one? All right, good. That's enough. So this is just a creepy vintage Valentine from the internet. I don't know why you would give this to anyone you liked, but I have a feeling you guys might want to see some other creepy vintage Valentines I found on the internet. So be aware, guys, we don't have a lot of time to comment on these, but here's one. And there is a lot going on here if you really look at it. First of all, that cow, I think it's a bull, has got cake. And second of all, it is crying. And third of all, of course, it says, "Can't I bring you to your knees too?"
And there's a fox.
And there is a fox.
Pervert fox.
Who, yes, is spying on them, I guess. It's quite a Valentine. Actually, I wouldn't mind receiving this one.
It does look like B. Arthur.
It does look a bit like B. Arthur.
That's why she's so tall.
Yeah, well, she's got the strength to do it and the shoulder pads. Yeah. All right, we're going to look at a couple more. So here is this boy firing a flesh-colored cannon from his crotch that, if you can't see it from the back, it says, "It's loaded, but only with love for you."
There's a curve to it. What the fuck?
There is, it's got a glans, I guess, is the way you would have to put it. Sailors. Let's move on to this one, which is clearly it. I think this is what inspired the sewer scene, actually. This one I liked, speaking of Curious George and the man in the big yellow hat. Those bananas are very suspicious, I think. And, we've got this one. Everybody knows what a cat tongue feels like, right? And lastly, this one I think might be my favorite. If you can't read what it says, "I don't want you to be my brother. I want you to be my Valentine." And then she's got this weird half mask of her own face. It looks like AI, but it isn't.
Well, that's how her eyes got like that.
Yeah.
That's actually how their child will look when they get together.
All right. So that's it for What the Hell Is This? Please give your panelists a hand. And we are going to move on to the next section of our game, which is another pop quiz. All right. Are you guys ready for your first question? The category is Sinking to New Depths. James Cameron filmed an alternate ending to Titanic that's widely been pilloried by fans since it was first made public as a DVD extra in 2005. What happens in this alternate version of events? Yes, Lily.
Rose gets drawn again, but with her old ass titties out.
Yeah. Witnesses say it might have looked something like this, actually. All right. Anyone else?
We find out that Billy Zane, in the future, pilots a submarine down to the wreckage of the Titanic with all his billionaire friends. Unfortunately, it doesn't end well for them.
Yeah. I said it was a bad ending. A bad ending.
Oh, okay. No, that was good.
Yeah. Yes, Nikki.
So the Terminator shows up and he kills Rose for being the future mother of John Connor.
Yeah. Actually, given the scene in the car that we that we saw at the beginning, maybe, I don't know. Could be, right? Could be. That's all I had to say about that. Anybody else for alternate ending to Titanic? Yes, Nikki again.
So the old lady, instead of throwing out the heart of the ocean, whatever it's called, blah, 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 it's worth a lot of money. Instead of throwing it away as a gift of defiance and love and rebellion, she actually sells it for millions of dollars and feeds thousands of families for years to come.
Well, that would be reasonable and unselfish. Why?
Yes.
You know her upbringing. Why would she do that?
She learned nothing.
No, she didn't. Yes, Lily.
The Titanic gets its groove back. It picks itself up and finds a new life.
Yeah. until 8,000 people get sick with food poisoning on a Caribbean cruise. Anyone else for alternate endings to Titanic? Are we... Okay, Ryan.
Believe it or not, I haven't seen the movie Titanic, but I have been to the Titanic Museum in Belfast, so maybe something with car bombs.
I don't know why you'd go to the museum if you haven't even seen the movie. You're not going to appreciate any of it. What a waste of your time.
What's funny is that having the Titanic Museum in Belfast makes it like the least tragic thing about Belfast. So what actually happens is it's a variation on the ending that we're familiar with. Brock, the lead researcher who's searching for the necklace, spots old Rose when she's on the railing about to drop it over the edge, but he thinks that she's going to jump to join Jack, her eternal beloved. So he and her granddaughter, who's also on the ship, run up, and they see that she's holding the necklace, and she gives this horrible, obvious, moralizing speech about friendship and love being more important than money or whatever. Clearly not, if she didn't sell the necklace to feed the hungry. And he's like, "Can I just touch it for a second?" And she's like, "Okay, just the tip." And she she puts it in his hand, and he grasps it, and then she yanks it out of his hand and throws it over her shoulder into the sea like Uranus's penis. And then this happens by this point in front of the whole crew, and then this one guy just says, "That really sucks, lady." I wish I were making this up. You can watch this online. So that is what happens in the alternate ending to Titanic.
My ending's better.
Yes, yours was better. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. The category is maintaining an ideal weight. According to surveys, new couples typically wait 6 to 8 dates before doing what?
So it's that thing where you walk into a room and then you forget that what you're there for, and then you walk out and then you instantly remember.
Yeah.
It's that.
I have these two questions reversed. So what we're going to do...
Well, no wonder I didn't get laughs.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now. The hat goes on the head.
You got to listen to what's going on. All right. The next question... Oh, I see. It's just out. It's not there, is it? Oh. All right. So you guys will listen and understand the question, and then we can do it. All right? This is why we have these pieces of paper, by the way. According to fMRI studies, breakups have been found to activate the same regions of the brain as what other phenomenon? Yes, Nikki.
It's that thing where you walk into a room and you forget what you came in for, and then you walk back out again and remember.
Yeah. I think there's a lesson in there for what just happened, actually. Yes, Charmaine.
It activates your mind's eye, the part where you're thinking about your ex getting hit by a bus.
Yeah. I had a whole calendar of those when I was in high school, but they were usually like dogs or sailboats, or not usually people getting hit by buses. Yeah, Ryan.
Getting waxed, which you don't have to do anymore since you're broken up.
Yeah. You're not going to meet anybody new this way.
I already told you I did nothing for my ass tonight.
That's true. Your girlfriend is the one who has to suffer. Go ahead, Keegan.
It's that thing where you sneeze and fart at the same time.
That's what causes most breakups, actually. All right. Anybody else for the fMRI? Nope. Okay. I confused you enough. All right. So the real answer is that it looks just like physical pain in the brain when you're suffering the emotional pain of any kind of social isolation, but especially a breakup. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. The category is maintaining an ideal weight. Here we go. According to surveys, new couples typically wait 6 to 8 dates before doing what? Yes, Ryan.
Their first trip to Oasis.
That seems a little soon. Unless you're the kind of maniac that thinks it's like a fun date idea to go to one of those comedy shows where the comedians take off their clothes as a cheap gimmick, as opposed to a smart, sophisticated comedy show where they show you Daniel Radcliffe with the boner on a PowerPoint slide. That's all I have to say about that. Yes, Lily.
Asking their partner to chain them up before a full moon.
Yeah. Because they're a werewolf?
What?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, Keegan.
Doing something other than hooking up. Gays, we're hornier than the straights.
That's That's not true. Every straight guy I've ever gone out with has not wanted to do anything but hook up until he furtively disappeared immediately afterwards and didn't call me for 2 weeks until inevitably he did at 2 a.m. after doing a bunch of blow.
Yeah, that all checks out.
Yeah. See? We're all the same. Yes, Nikki.
Sharing a Duolingo family plan.
Aww. Everybody can learn Hangul together. Yes.
Admitting finally how racist your family is.
Yep.
Starting a D&D campaign.
Oh. And then it takes 6 to 8 dates just to get the first module done. All right. Anybody else for 6 to 8 dates?
Can I admit something?
Yeah.
When Ryan said that Oasis joke, I thought he meant the band. And it just dawned on me now.
Yeah.
Just now.
Definitely maybe.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Wait. Can you explain to us what Oasis is, Nikki? Just in case people
in
listening
case
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't know.
These good people in the audience may not know all about Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Well, in the east end of Toronto, not too far from where I live, there is a little place called Oasis Aqua Lounge, which is I guess it's like a swingers bar club. They have a pool, not that I know about it. They have a hot tub, not that I know about it. They have an area with a sex swing, not that I know about it.
All of these things are well chlorinated, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think, once again, the gays are doing it more efficiently. You go to Steamworks, you know you're going in, you know what you're getting, you're in and out. It's real quick. We're not going to pretend it's a bar.
And nobody
Let's not do all that.
fucking comedy shows there.
Either way, someone's getting pounded in the wonder walls.
Yeah.
The other kind of a way.
You got to roll with it.
Very good. All right. Anybody else for 6 to 8 dates? No, I guess we're done with that. So the real answer, any guesses? No. Okay. It's becoming exclusive with your person. All right. Sorry.
So pretty much the opposite of going to Oasis.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to the next question. The category is Time Heals All Swoons. In the early 2000s, a team of Italian researchers found that the feeling of romantic love only lasts for about a year. What begins after that? Yes, Ryan.
Their first trip to Oasis Aqua Lounge.
That's a more reasonable timeline, I think. Yeah. Yes, Charmaine.
The nagging.
The nagging. The naggining. Yes, Dave.
More romantic love, but with each other's friends.
Yeah. There's a reason that in Italian the word comare, or guma for you people who watch The Sopranos, means both godmother and mistress. You got to keep it in your circle. That's just a fact. It's not meant to be funny. Yeah, go ahead, Keegan.
A slow descent into mutual passive-aggressive hatred.
No. Passive aggression is purely north of the Alps. It radiates out from its ancestral home in Switzerland, all through Northern Europe and into Britain, where it fills the ecological niche formerly occupied by the ability to cook.
People come here for facts, and I'm glad we're providing them.
Yeah. No. To make a good dish, you have to be willing to throw a good dish at your cheating husband. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Nikki.
Reality.
Oh.
A harsh Italian dictatorship. Also known as my wife.
Hey.
A threesome with Nana.
Nona was active back in the day. That's how she fought the fascists. Yeah.
Okay, so this is wild. This is the order that Santa? Wow, that scientists found. I'm gonna do that
Or
again.
Santa.
This is wild. This is the order that scientists found. Okay, so it goes love, marriage, horse, carriage, brother, mother, illusion, conclusion.
Yes. And then you stick your hand down your pants and complain about your wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that a Run DMC rap? What was that?
Yes, Keegan.
I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. A big fucking lasagna.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lily.
The Whining Tower of Pisa. Also known as my wife.
Hey, she's a little top heavy. That's why I keep her around, but she got to lean now. All right. I think that's good. So the correct answer is that romantic love ends, but attachment love begins, which presumably is when you start doing bondage. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is That's Not Amore, speaking of Italians. Mommy, where do baby eels come from? Yes, Nikki.
The eel stork, duh.
Unfortunately, storks evolved to eat small vertebrates, so like they end up swallowing a lot more kids than they deliver, which may not be bad. Go ahead, Charmaine.
I don't know, but I hear there's a lot of unagi sauce.
Yeah. That sauce is called nitsume, actually, which literally means simmer down, because you simmer it down.
Providing facts. Yet again.
That's all. That's really all I'm here for is facts. Yeah, Lily.
Well, first they electric slide into the DMs.
Ooh.
And then they electric slide into that pussy.
Okay, nitsume. Yeah.
I've heard about this. One eel comes into another eel's mouth, and then the second eel comes into a third eel's pussy.
Yeah. Provided the stork doesn't get there first. I guess.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
One eel
Yeah.
comes into another eel's mouth,
Yeah.
and then a separate eel
Yeah.
comes into a separate eel's
Yeah,
pussy.
they're
So
not-
what was the mouth one for?
They're not ready to make it a full threesome yet. They want some boundaries still.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, Nikki.
Well, Junior, when a mommy eel and a daddy eel love each other very much, they fuck.
Oh. Yeah.
My fidget spinner wife.
That's why she has the 3. All right. Anyone else for baby eels? You can cook them like pasta if you didn't know that. That's a popular thing to do. All right. So the actual answer to this is that nobody knows. Nobody knows where freshwater eels come from. Baby eels can be found in rivers and things in freshwater, but the eels go out to sea and baby eels come back, but no one knows how it happens. They think it happens somewhere in the Sargasso Sea, which is in kind of the western part of the Atlantic Ocean, but no one knows, no one has seen, which is why they can't be bred in captivity, despite the huge market for freshwater eel for sushi and things like that. So they're getting kind of endangered. Don't eat eel. Except it's good, so anyway, that's the answer. Nobody knows. Perhaps next time we'll have a more factual answer for you. All right, so that was it for the second pop quiz. Please give your panelists a hand. And we are going to take just a short minute to reset the stage to do the next portion of our show. And we're going to fill that time by raffling off that $25 gift certificate to the Review Cinema, where you can watch all of the kinds of things that we talk about on this show. Are we good? Okay, we're good. All right, we're back. And we're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is called Not Bloody Likely. In Not Bloody Likely, we give our panelists a series of unlikely situations, and they give you an idea of what might happen. All right. Are you ready for your first unlikely situation? Yeah. All right. Ill-advised pickup lines.
Hey, baby. I drive a Cybertruck.
Sounds like it could get pretty hot to me. Yeah.
Do you want to see my sword collection?
You ever tried Jack Daniels? Yeah? What about Jerry Dubrevnik? That's my name.
My mom says you're real pretty.
That sounds like one of the Valentines we looked at.
Hey, cutie, would you mind leaving me alone with your dad for a minute?
Hey, are you an Uber driver? Because I want to use your iPhone charger, then give you a terrible tip.
Want to come over and listen to some Drake?
Oh. That should also be, hey, sweetie, I need to talk to your dad for a minute.
You can stay over, but I still co-sleep with my mom.
Hey, are you a drinking glass at my friend's house? Because I really hope my friend didn't put his penis in you.
Hey, you ever heard of pop-up ads? Yeah, you'll never guess where you'll find 25% off. My dick.
That's what Daniel Radcliffe started doing. Yeah.
You look like you have a really nice skeleton.
Hey, got a question for you. Do you know where baby eels come from?
All right, I think that's enough of these. That was the first appearance of the Shut the Fuck Up horn, the whole show. I'm impressed. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Problematic wedding toasts.
I knew when my mom married my stepdad that I was really going to like my new stepsister.
To the beautiful bride, just know your husband is a generous lover.
Sarah, you look so beautiful tonight. That dress, it's hugging all the right places. Me and your mother-in-law are so excited to have you into the family.
Hey, Jen, you've been my best buddy since we were in grade 3. This is like, what, 4th wedding? Good luck or whatever, lady.
At least it's another free meal.
All right, which one of you bridesmaids want to catch the bukkake?
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today at Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Adam, congratulations, you finally nailed her down. And guess what? I can barely smell your butt thing from up here.
The most problematic wedding toast is French. Fuck the French.
I don't know. I think that rye is a little difficult to work with, personally. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, which is lesser-known dating apps.
Ancestry.com.
What vowel did that start with?
Hinge recently came out with a dating app for the mentally ill called Unhinged.
Ah.
Crumble for the emotionally unstable cookie lovers.
Tinder, Pyromaniac Edition.
Ah. That's nice. They say you should meet people with the same hobbies.
Cringe for neckbeard Redditors.
Sloppy sad lover.
This is so stupid. Zitty titties.
It's like the bacon one,
Yeah.
except it's for
Sizzle?
vegans.
Oh.
So it's just called something. Vegan sizzle?
Yeah.
Vegan sizzle? Sizzle vegan?
Lies limp in the pan and never gets satisfyingly crisp, but you have to pretend you like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is.
Face ass marketplace.
All right, I think that's enough. Oh, go ahead. Okay. We're going to move on to the next one. Rejected pitches for the next big rom-com.
They love them. The new non-binary rom-com.
Okay, so it starts when a really hot guy goes up to a girl and says, "Hey, do you want to see my Cybertruck?"
Okay, it's Sasquatch and the reimagination of When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry met the Hendersons. Yeah.
Somebody actually records how eels have sex.
That's not a rom-com. That's straight blue, right? The deep blue. All right, okay. That's enough rom-coms. That's a dead genre anyway. All right. Lastly, we have unlikely erotic role-playing scenarios.
Okay, you be a broke artist and I'll be the CRA.
Okay, I'm Jaws and you get in the pool.
Stepson and stepmother with healthy communication.
Ooh.
All right, so you be the capital and I'll be a patriot.
Itsy bitsy spider crawls up your little spout.
I'm Drake and you're Kendrick Lamar.
I said unlikely.
I have lots of money, and you want lots of money.
Okay, can I get a sex position from the audience?
All right, so you're the garbage man. Now just toss me as hard as you can into that truck.
All right, I think that's good. Thank you, guys. And that was it for Not Bloody Likely. Give your panelists a hand. And we are now going to move on to the last section of our show, which is called Debate Club. In Debate Club, our panelists debate important issues of the day, and you, the audience, get to decide who wins. Our first debate, arguing the question, who had the bigger crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Arguing in favor of herself, Nikki Ashworth, and arguing in favor of herself, Charmaine Turner. All right, Nikki, you have 1 minute starting right now.
I would like to share some entries from my childhood diary. August 29th, 1993. Dear Diary, I'm still waiting for Mom and Dad to take me to New York one day. I guess I have to be patient. It's not like the Twin Towers are going anywhere. I've been collecting JTT posters from Tiger Beat magazine for a bit now, but Christine came over and she thought I had too many of them. So then I showed her even more posters that were hidden on the inside of my closet door, and she laughed. That was embarrassing. I think she likes him too, but I know she likes Leo DiCaprio more. Gross! He's too old to date girls. Whenever I watch Home Improvement now, Dad calls him je te to tease me. I think it's only sometimes funny, but maybe after JTT and I are married, I can tell him what Dad used to call him, and we can all laugh about it when we're driving home from Blockbuster.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. And arguing that she had the bigger crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas is Charmaine Turner. Charmaine, you have 1 minute starting right now.
I brought my scrapbook about me and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I wanted to show you my favorite picture of Jonathan that I like very much, but I've worn this part out because I've kissed it so much, and it's really delicious. I have here his birth chart. He was born on September 8th, and I love him, as you can tell by all the hearts. Here is our compatibility romance chart. You can tell that CT plus JTT equals love because all the squiggly bits are on the same part, so we're destined to be together forever. I loved The Lion King so much, but when I watched it, I didn't like any of the parts with Nala because fuck that bitch, that's my boyfriend.
All right. Thank you, Charmaine. Nikki, you have 30 seconds to respond.
January 10th, 1995. Dear Diary, I waited for the countdown to come on so I could sing I'm the Only One by Melissa Etheridge again. She really understands what it's like to have a deep, unrequited love for a boy. I know this is, she's gay. I know this is a weird thing to write, but my love for JTT is so true. I just know that I would be willing to defend my love for him as an old woman on a stage one day if I had to. I know it in my heart. I just know.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. And Charmaine, you have 30 seconds and the last word. You guys don't be afraid to walk up to the mic before I call you up.
Okay, I just want you to know that I used to steal money from my grandmother to buy Tiger Beat magazines. I destroyed all of my walls to put up posters of JTT. I stole from my friends and I took everything just to have money to buy Tiger Beat magazines. I don't think that Nikki really loves JTT, and I just want you to know that me and JTT is where it's at.
All right. Thank you, Charmaine. All right, and now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Nikki that she liked JTT best? Yeah. Or do you agree with Charmaine that she liked JTT best? Charmaine? Yeah. All right, Charmaine, you take it. Congratulations. That is a point for the Palentines. All right. Moving on to our next debate. Debating the question, is Lily gaslighting Dave in their relationship? Are Dave Luca and Lily Langen? Arguing that Lily is in fact gaslighting him is Dave Luca, and arguing that that's crazy is Lily Langen. All right. Dave, you have 1 minute starting now.
All right. Chances of surviving one atomic bomb is 1 in 8 million. Chances of surviving falling out of an airplane, 1 in 112 million. Chances of me winning an argument with Lily is 0. What are the mathematical chances she's not fucking gaslighting me here? Okay? It makes no mathematical sense that if I survived an atomic bomb and falling out of an airplane, if I went home and she said I was being distant, I'd have to just quit while I was ahead. That's not fair, okay? What are the chances I'm wrong all the time? If I was actually wrong this many times and her not gaslighting me, the fact I'm not in front of you, drooling and covered in my own shit, means that it was an act of God that I'm here. Which that means I'm actually chosen by God and she's an infidel, which means I win all the arguments, okay? So I rest my case. She's gaslighting me.
All right, thank you, Dave. Arguing that it's totally absurd that she is gaslighting Dave is Lily Langen. Lily, you have 1 minute starting now.
Honey, I told you this before. You're wrong always. It's okay. I know how you get. I know that you're overwhelmed with work and you're taking it out on me. But when you get like this, you're impossible to talk to. I hate to say it, but you're really acting crazy right now. It's not your time of the month, is it? I know that can make you pretty irrational. I'm sorry I don't get all emotional like you. Do you think maybe you're overreacting? I know you tend to do that. Have you drank water today? Of course you haven't. That really affects your brain, baby. You're kind of starting to sound like your mother. It's just that shrill, nagging tone, you know? How she just drones on and it's relentless. Relationships are supposed to be fun. Can't you loosen up? And, you know, if you hate me so much and I'm the worst, you can just dump me. You know that, right? Yeah, I guess I'm as bad as Hitler. I just love you so much, and I hate to see you this way.
All right. Thank you, Lily. All right. Dave, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave.
You're right, baby. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I haven't drank any water. I'm so thirsty. You know it's tough for me, and I'm just sorry. I just keep making this mistake. I keep making that stupid mistake where I think I have thoughts. And I didn't mean to. You're not as bad as Hitler. I'm Hitler. The way I do this to you, I'm sorry, okay? Just please, just do me a favor. Just do everything for me always. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Lily, you have 30 seconds, and the last word is apparently you normally do.
I'm glad that you see it my way. I think it's best for both of us. I'm only tough because I care. And look at it this way. You're really lucky. You get to date someone who's never wrong about anything. Just let me take it from here, baby. Maybe you can stop seeing that therapist that keeps telling you to talk to me about things. I love you so much. We'll talk later.
All right. Thank you, Lily. And now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Dave and his therapist that Lily is gaslighting him?
No, stop it. Don't listen to him, baby.
Or do you agree with Lily that he doesn't know what he's talking about? Come on. Dave takes it. I'm sorry. He has broken free, but has put himself in his own chains. Congratulations. That is a point for the Candy Hearts. All right. And moving on to our last debate of the evening. Arguing the question, should you have sex on the first date, are Ryan Zeitz and Keegan Hawkeswood. Arguing in favor is Ryan Zeitz, who has 1 minute, starting right now.
So first and foremost, a little bit of anecdotal evidence for you. Me and my girlfriend had sex on the first date. My very real girlfriend, who I brought up 3 times on this show. And we're recording this. Remind me to never let her parents watch this. She even fingered my ass on the first date because it was shaved. I'm very aggressive about my shaved ass. 2, have sex on the first date because, what if they have an STI, right? I'd rather get that out of the way first. I don't like surprises. Also, it's a great way to find out their religion without asking, No foreskin? Jewish. Anal? Catholic. Celibate and bald? Maybe they're a Buddhist monk. I don't know. I'm a huge fucking slut, and if someone can't handle me being a slut, I don't want to be with them anyways.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Arguing that you should not have sex on the first date is Keegan Hawkeswood. Keegan, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
Well, instantly, I just want to say, you can just ask people if they have foreskin. Dave, do you have foreskin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. See? Quick and easy. You don't need to fuck someone to do that. I'm gay. And I think it's important to notice for everybody here that gays are chaste, despite everything that I've ever said here tonight. I'm kind of like, I feel silly admitting this. I'm a virgin, and I've never done anything bad. So, actually, I think it's weird that straight people want to fuck right away. And I'm just going to say that they're responsible for all the gay people that exist in the world. So if you're going to fuck and make gay babies and ruin the world, maybe think about the consequence of your action before you take it out on us, okay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Keegan. Ryan, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Yes, I have 2 more points. One, I have very severe ADHD, so knowing that I might have sex on the first date is the motivation I need and the body doubling I need to shave my ass. And a rhyme with a shaved ass benefits everyone. Trust me. Secondly, I like to get the disappointment out of the way first. If your date is anything like me, it can only go up from there. The pun was intended.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Keegan, you have 30 seconds and the last word.
On all my very Christian dates, we have ADHD too. A damn holy day. We bless each other. We don't mess each other, okay? That's what we do. We keep it chaste. You should not be fucking on the first date. That is against God and, frankly, makes me sick. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, and now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Ryan that you should have sex on the first date, even if it means shaving your ass? Or do you agree with Keegan that purity is the order of the day? All right. Well, that was a clear one. All right, so that is 1 point for the Palentines, and I have done the math on the back of the envelope that you don't see here, and it turns out that at this point in the game, our two teams are tied 2,136 points to 2,136 points. It's weird how this happens all the time. The specific number. So you guys have to break the tie and decide who you liked overall tonight. So, did you like the Candy Hearts, Nikki Ashworth, Dave Luca, and Ryan Zeitz? Or did you prefer the Palentines, Charmaine Turner, Lily Langen, and Keegan Hawkeswood? All right, that seems like a clear victory for the Palentines and the power of friendship. All right, so this has been Comedy Game Showdown. I've been your host, Dan Donnelly. Once again, the Candy Hearts were Nikki Ashworth, Dave Luca, and Ryan Zeitz. The Palentines were Charmaine Turner, Lily Langen, and Keegan Hawkeswood. Our next episode right here in this room, and almost certainly also at Comic-Con, is Fandom Fantasy 5, March 11th, 8 p.m. here at the SoCap. You can patronize us on Patreon if you want to, patreon.com/andascotchegg. It's the cheapest way to get tickets to the show if you live in town. It's like a subscription, and thank you to our patrons. And you can follow us everywhere as @andascotchegg. And as I mentioned earlier, if you really liked us and you say something nice about us online, we'll give you a little break on the tickets to the next show. So thanks, everybody. Be sure to follow us, watch clips online, go to the website, because we're going somewhere, probably home. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.